Alabama and Georgia match up this week, and the hype is really starting to build, and we're going to get into that here. So what do you guys think? Dynasty versus dynasty? I know that's a big topic of conversation right now. Listen, we're going to talk Alabama, we're going to talk Georgia, and we're going to talk Waffle House because we got everything covered in the South for this big matchup Saturday in Tuscaloosa. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. What's your favorite Waffle House dish? What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Alabama, Georgia, the two blue bloods in the SEC. I know Texas is number one. I know Ole Miss and Tennessee are in the conversation. Missouri's in there as well. It's the SEC, man. This is what every single season looks like. You got a lot of teams at the top, but so fun matchup. People have asked me, Brett, is this a rivalry? I don't know. I mean, Alabama's rivals, Auburn, LSU, and Tennessee, but these games have been big. Alabama's just won most of them, but it's exciting. I can't wait for Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's coming. It's a rivalry, but let me tell you something. Let me take over this.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Let me take over this because we got a lot of major important things to talk about.
All right, you take over. I'm going to move you over here. You take over.
All right. It's Big Elmo's show today. All right. We're looking at the guest picker for the ball game on Saturday.
Okay. ESPN's going to be there. GameDay's going to be there in Tuscaloosa again, but it might be the first time for DeBoer.
Yeah, and someone
not just at Alabama, the first time for DeBoer. I mean, honestly, like besides the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. And somebody said yesterday that DeBoer played in the national championship last year. What do you mean it's not a big game? I'm talking about on campus big games. This is a huge one,
right?
But who would you want to see as the guest picker? And AL.com did a
not Roll Tide Willie though. He's not in the group.
No, I'm throwing him out the window.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not saying I discount him. I'm just saying I just want to make sure he's not part of the group.
But if you had to have a guest picker, and this is a very good list, normally they do a guest picker that's associated with the home team. All right. Terry Saban. Terry Saban's a good choice. All right.
So they got Terry Saban as a person.
As a person.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe Namath. Joe Willie would be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Condoleezza Rice.
She's been one before.
Has she?
Yeah, I want to say she has. Yeah, I think I remember her. Obviously not Terry Saban, but I mean, Condoleezza Rice has definitely been on game day before. Terry Saban, I don't know if Terry Saban has the national appeal, but locally we love her. I mean, she's kind of the stir
I think
Saban drank, and you couldn't ask for a better person than Terry Saban. I mean, just flat out great.
Let's go down the list. A guy that I've been compared to.
Joe Namath, by the way, is creme de la creme.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great one.
Would be awesome.
Condoleezza Rice would be a good one too, because she's. I ran into her one time in an elevator.
Really?
At one of the national championship games, I forgot what it was. And very nice lady. It was just me and her in the elevator.
Really?
Riding up to the press box. She had a handler. And I told her I was from Jasper. Of course, she's from, Birmingham.
Yeah.
And
she hit you with her purse.
No, she didn't.
Okay.
But anyway, here's the funny part of the story.
The
funny part of the story is I asked to get a picture with her. I said, I'd love to have a picture with you. And she said, and her handler was like, no. And she was like, take a picture. All right. So I hand him my phone. He takes a picture. All right. I get up to the press box and everything, and I sit down. I look back at the picture. You know what he took a picture of?
Himself.
My gut.
Oh my goodness.
And I thought, that asshole. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Okay. Terrible.
Anyway, terrible. That was terrible. But a guy that I get compared to, and this guy's from Coleman, Channing Tatum. He was in Magic Mike. What?
Hey,
What are you laughing at?
No, I mean, I see the comparisons. I love Channing Tatum. Coleman guy. Yeah. We're on in Coleman, by the way. Not live 95, baby, in Coleman. With the Tailgate show every Saturday before Alabama.
Right. Why did you laugh at that? I've been compared several.
I wasn't expecting that, but okay, I'm with you.
So you've watched the movie?
Yeah, I've seen Magic Mike. Yeah,
I have not.
Okay, this is a good movie.
Is it a good movie?
Yeah, Kevin Nash is in it, and I think he's great. Yeah, former NWO member.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now, change your mind on this.
A Grammy winner from Green Hill, Alabama, former member of the Drive-By Truckers, Jason Isbell.
Yeah, I mean, I know him. Not a huge fan, but I know who he is. Like, I think people in a Nashville scene. We're going to be up there in 2 weeks.
Terrific person. I've met him before. He played in Jasper at our Foothills Festival.
Okay,
great guy. Julio Jones.
400 Union or
400 unit.
Yeah.
Julio Jones.
I'd love to see Julio. I mean, he owns the Kia dealership in Tuscaloosa. I think he's still the best Alabama receiver ever.
And someone you probably won't agree with, a Prattville native, Caitlin Collins.
I don't know that person.
She's on CNN.
Oh, I don't know her. Yeah, I don't know her.
University of Alabama graduate. She wakes up, goes get Chick-fil-A, and watches the Alabama game. Okay. And then finally, let's see. Man, I thought it was 5. Justin Thomas would be a good choice.
Oh, dude, yeah, JT. Regular at Innisfree, just like us. Show's going to be there this Friday. The Tailgate show. Jake Coker, me, Big Sexy, from 1 to 4. Whenever we get there from the Striker Strong golf tournament to record the show. But yeah, dude, I think JT would be great, man. He's won some big tournaments on the golf tour. He has been such a great representation of Alabama. My uncle's a huge golf guy, always talking about him. So that'd be really cool. And the funny thing is he's friends with, the whole thing that happened with Morgan Wallen was Morgan Wallen. You remember the whole SNL skit where Morgan Wallen's during COVID, he's kissing people in Tuscaloosa. He was there with JT. And then SNL was like, you can't come because of, you're out making out with people during COVID.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So I would be cool. I'd be fine with that. I mean,
do it. Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, we got more people on the list. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know that person.
She was in Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Melissa and Joey. She is a big Tide fan. And Lucas Brown, NCIS star. He's a big Alabama fan. And finally, Hannah Brown. She was on The Bachelorette.
So this is AL.com's list, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Like, if you could pick who you would want on game day representing Alabama in a game in Tuscaloosa, who would you pick?
Off of this list?
Or just in general? I don't care. Anybody.
No. Seriously, off this list, and I think it would be perfect. The way everything plays in is Terry Saban.
You love Terry Saban. And
I do. I love her. I met her.
How about the dynamic of her and Nick together on the
yes,
set, right?
Yes. I think it'd be entertaining TV. And I think she would.
It'd be like Macho Man and Elizabeth.
Right, right. And I'm telling you,
Oh, yeah.
she would deliver the goods, and she is such a fantastic person.
Yeah.
I met her at the Alabama Utah game at the Sugar Bowl. Remember that?
Yeah, we lost. I
Yeah,
was there.
we lost, and I was standing back near the locker room, and I look over, it is Terry Saban and the family, and they're just standing there. So, hell, you know how I am. I'll go talk to anybody. Anyway, I went to talk to them, and just fabulous people. But I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I would
Look,
love to
Joe
see
Namath is like top of the mountain. I mean, when it comes to,
yeah.
he's done it
I would love
before.
to see him too.
He's done it before. I said JT would be great. If he wanted to do it. What about your guy from, what was it, Creed, the lead singer of Creed?
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
He's a big Alabama guy. Like, what's his name?
Scott Stapp.
Yeah, Scott Stapp. Like, why not, man? Like, bring him in. Like,
Yeah, bring him in.
They've got a lot of choices. So, you run into Alabama fans all over the place. But
yeah. I mean,
honestly, guys, this is going to blow your mind. I think, are you ready for some football? Bring in Hank, man. Can you imagine?
Oh,
Hank?
wow. Yeah, that would be a good one.
I love Hank. If you said, hey, Hank, bring him in. I would love to hear the stories about, like, what it was like doing that song and all. For years he represented Monday Night Football. So that'd be my pick.
That would be great. And since it's my show now, let's
Take it
talk. An Alabama bar has one rule for Georgia fans, and we were there. Galettes.
Yeah, Galettes. Yellow Hammers. And that was my, college bar. I mean, like, that's where the K's went. Like, that's where my fraternity, when we went there all the time to Galettes and hung out. And so I can see the giant Yellowhammer cup on the wall. And that's where the first show was this year, Brett, wherever you went. We did it from Galettes. So they have put some rules down for Georgia fans.
No barking. No barking.
The funny thing about this,
here.
The funny thing about this is that, so we're in there setting up for the show. Not one, but two bulldogs are in there running around. Like, nobody's even there. Somebody had actually stolen one of the bulldogs that, I don't think they were Jeff's bulldogs. I can't remember what the other guy's name was. It was there. Maybe it was Rick, but it was one of the guys that worked there. And somebody had come by and stolen one of his little bulldogs. And then they eventually got it back. And so you would think that there would be a place in town where you could bark. It'd be a bar where you have two resident bulldogs.
Well, that's good news about the Bulldogs. Hey, let me tell you. Let's get into some football here. Keys to victory on Saturday. What do you think is the biggest key for Alabama to win this home game? An underdog for I think I read an underdog at home for the first time since 2007. Is that right?
Yeah. So, I'm part of the next round.
Yeah.
And Emily Grace was telling us that she was 6 the last time that Alabama was an underdog at home. Don't ever tell me that, Emily Grace.
No.
Please.
No.
I mean, no offense to you, but just make me want to jump off a skyscraper. She does a great job too. The bottom line to me is this: is that if Alabama is able to keep Jalen Milroe clean, right, protect him from the blitz, move forward, I think they're going to win the game. I think a lot of this has to do with the way that they play up front. I think this offensive line, which we thought was going to be the strength of the team, is certainly going to be, to me, at least together for the second straight week. We didn't have consistency last year.
Right.
Yeah. And that's been something that we've kind of seen slipping over the last, 2 or 3 seasons, just as far as the offensive line, the penalties, and stuff like that. With Kalen DeBoer, I feel like this is his chance it's not always about winning and losing with this new system. I mean, you want to win, obviously, and at your home, you want to win the home games, and he did a great job of that at Washington. But it's the consistency of doing the little things right that I think are going to make a big difference with this team. So if Alabama blocks and they keep Jalen Milroe clean, meaning just protect him in the pocket, I think Alabama wins the game. And the turnovers. I mean, you can't turn it over, and you know that.
Yeah.
Against a good team like Georgia.
That's my main concern is turnovers. But second question would be injury situation. You start getting into play, and we got some guys kind of nicked up, banged up. That's what the bye week is for. I think it comes at an excellent time to get some guys that are, banged up, and healthy. Injury situation. What do you think?
Look, I think that Quay Russaw is practicing. I think he'll be effective. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to play every snap. I don't know if he's going to be limited, but I think he's going to be back in there. The guy that we love, Cole Adams, is going to play. I don't know if you're going to have him returning kicks, but I think he's going to be back as well. And then Malachi Moore coming back from the concussion. He's had a couple weeks to deal with it. I don't know what the severity of the concussion is. I don't think any of us do, right? Because they're not going to tell us. No. He's a big factor in this game. So what you hope is that, sometimes the concussions, you're not really sure, right? Because it's not a major one. It's, when you watch Tua, those are major concussions. Hopefully that's not the situation. And Malachi Moore, who's been practicing, I think expect him to play. So I think Alabama, for the most part, is going to be healthy.
All right. Well, very good. Well, when we come back, Big Sexy Elmo takes over again. And of course, Pearl River Resort is a big sponsor. Mick, tell us about that.
I know. Look at him throw it over to me. Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Our friends over there, fantastic, man. Those guys are awesome. They make this show possible every day in this channel. I mean, they're our partner. And we want you guys to check them out. There's a sports book at the Golden Moon Casino, which is like Vegas. I mean, you can fly out to Vegas. You can go to Pearl River. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. It's a less than, a day trip from anywhere, really, I'm sure, in the South. I mean, at least Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee. But it's our place, man. You go in there, you spend $50 putting down, hey, Bama basketball is going to do this, or maybe you think Alabama is going to cover that spread against Georgia. You can go play Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, which is the Augusta you can play for just $40. But they got table games and slots. They got the roulette, which is Brett's thing. They also are celebrating 30 years over there in Philadelphia, Mississippi, and Choctaw. And they've got some great acts. We've already seen Boys to Men. We've already seen Big and Rich and Brett's buddy, Gretchen Wilson, who he had a great time with, or maybe Big Sexy Elmo, whatever you want to call him. And then on top of that, they've got Gary Allen, who's
she called me Big Sexy.
Did she? Yeah, I'm sure. Gary Allen, who I think is a really talented country singer, and Scotty McCrary.
They both called me Big Sexy.
Did they? Yeah. Anyway, you guys find out for yourself, Pearl River Resort. And the last thing I want to tell you is this, 20% off using the promo code Bama Tailgate. Hung out with Daniel Moore. Yeah, got to interview him. You guys need to go back and watch it if you haven't seen it, but posted that a few days ago. Really was awesome. Just talking to the guy who I've had his work in my studio, in my house for years, gotten to know his daughter, fantastic person. They're just great people. Not forget about the legacy of the artwork and all that stuff. They're just great people. They're great Alabamians and they're great people. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. But promo code is Bama Tailgate, 20% off when you use that at newlifeart.com. So take advantage of that. All right, Brett is running the show today, and he'll be back with more when we're back.
Resort. They call him Big Sexy. coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy, throwing out those Alabama thoughts, sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XP, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
You know, what you need to do is go back and watch that interview with Mick and Daniel Moore, because it was really, really good. And kudos to you. And also, if you missed the Kalen DeBoer interview, it was really, really good. I thought. Maybe I'm a little partial. I don't know. But, you know, I asked him the hard-hitting questions. You know, when Greg Byrne interviewed this guy, he probably didn't ask the questions that I needed to, because this is stuff you need to know.
Things that you needed to know.
Right.
As far as if you're going to give this guy a contract, you need to know about him.
Right. Yeah. And one of the things was about Waffle House. I did extensive research on your coaching career, and I found that you coached in places where there were no Waffle Houses. And I don't understand that. Are you a Waffle House guy? And if you are, what's your go-to on the menu?
You know what? I need to become one, I think.
Yeah.
But that I can't say, just because of what you just mentioned. Places I've coached, that hasn't been a thing. So had to go out of my territory to experience it. So I can't speak very well on and articulately on anything to do with the Waffle House. But I do know that I need to get that figured out while I'm here.
You need to get that figured out, because it, the go-to is going to be probably the All-Star, scrambled eggs, a little bacon, a little bit of hash brown smothered covered chunked. You'll learn the lingo. You'll learn the lingo. Oh, yeah. It's time for Waffle House. You know, it's late night at the Waffle House, and we have so many selections. I go with that. And then the Coke in a styrofoam. Here's what it looks like. This is how it really goes. I'm telling you, just a packed Waffle House. And this is how it goes right here. It goes right here with the best cooks in the world.
Is that double bacon?
They always want me to get double bacon for some reason. I think they know me well.
That was a lot of bacon.
It's good bacon.
So, are you a regular? Did you say you go in there and they're just like, they see you coming in and they're like, All-Star, double egg scrambled?
That they wave me in. They say, Brett, here you go. And this,
What time was that? Is that like 3 a.m. or something?
It's non-disclosed. Are you a Waffle House guy?
Look, when I was at Alabama in college, I did a lot of Waffle House. Not as much now because I'm kind of refined now, but where I don't get out. I don't get out a lot.
Whoa.
I'm not up that late.
About refined.
I'm up, Brett. You're going to bed, and I'm normally up for the day. You got to admit that. You know that. Like, I'm a get to bed early and wake up early guy.
But what is
early in the rise? You ever know John Denver? Early in the rise, early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country boy. I go to bed early because I'll be texting you at 5 a.m. talking about stuff for the show.
That's a great time to go to the Waffle House. They're open 24 hours.
I know. I do like the Waffle House.
Talking about.
I do like.
All right. So what's a go-to?
If I go, you
insulted.
insulted my raisin toast. I do raisin toast with apple butter. It's not like my great grandmother's apple butter, but it's close enough where I can do that with a little butter on there. I like, scrambled eggs. I like fried eggs. Fried egg sandwich, probably my favorite thing.
Good choice, my friend.
Yeah, I know. Look, I know my Waffle House.
I mean, me and our best friend, Bull Corey, used to meet at Waffle House like all the time. That was his go-to. And we would sit there and talk, and he would drink coffee. I would drink Coca-Cola. I'm not a coffee guy. And we would share breakfast, and it's like a staple.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what everybody's go-to is in the comment section on Waffle House, because it's got to be the All-Star or the 2-egg breakfast. Now, Coker mentioned 2 nights ago about the patty melt. The patty melt's good.
Not bad.
Yeah. Now, I used to be a steak and eggs guy. But they changed it up. When COVID hit, there was like no steak and eggs.
Not the same steak you were used to.
No. It was different. And now I think they have pork chops. I think I don't know. Anyway, I'll need to re-educate myself on it. But anyway, looking forward to the ball game on Saturday with Georgia. I want to invite everybody to come out next week. Vanderbilt game, Nashville. We're going to have a great time at Live Oak, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Be out there. Music Row. If you're going to the game or you live in Nashville, come by and see us. I think Ryan Anderson's going to be there. Jay Coker's going to be there. We'll be there. So come out and hang with us.
And even if you don't live in Nashville, everybody's going to congregate to that place, man.
Yeah.
I've talked to people. They said, we're coming.
Yeah, come on, man. We'd love to see you guys. The whole channel is based off of that show, and the show's going to be there. So the big show will be there, and then we appreciate you guys for being there as well. All right, we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Alabama and Georgia dead ahead. Roll Tide, everybody.